to the Video Game Town Hall podcast, the official podcast of Video Game Town. Just by listening, you are a member of our esteemed community. So get ready for the most fun town hall meeting in the history of town halls. I'm the mayor and the host of this podcast, Jared Russo, and here with me today, a man who nobody elected. How does he have so much power? Grant Brunner.
No one man should have all that power. I am the designated IKEA furniture assemblyman, Grant Brunner, editor-in-chief of Video Game Town.
Assemblyman?
Yeah. You assemble, and I'm a man.
Yeah. So it's June. We're halfway through the year. Happy Pride. And I figured, well, we did this last year. We're going to do it again. Top 5 games of the year so far, and top 5 most anticipated games coming up. I should note, however, that the day of this recording, the day of my daughter's wedding, is our 1-year anniversary, and so this month we're doing a huge celebration. Old article, sort of like collections, roundups of the best stuff we've done, the biggest guests we've ever had. We are going to be sponsoring in a lot of places that people will probably be listening to us or watching us or reading us for the very first time. And so I wanted to give a shout out to all the wonderful work that us, you and I, Grant, and the freelancers that we've accumulated over these last 12 months have done. And I want to just tell everyone to go to the Patreon.
Yeah. Like, let me put it this way. The Patreon has been running for like 10 months now, and we have not lost a single paying person. And I think that is very, very kind. And I would like to personally thank all the folks who have ponied up and helped support independent media. And it means a lot. And if you're not a Patreon subscriber, but you would like to be, go to videogame.town/donate. You find links to find our Patreon, where you get a bonus podcast every month for as little as $5 American. If you just want to support us and you don't want a subscription, we have a Ko-fi. You just throw us a couple bucks that way. And then if you want to support us, but you don't really have money to throw around, which in this economy is extremely understandable.
In this economy.
If you could just throw us, a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, that would make a huge difference to us. So we would appreciate it if you could do that.
Even though all these things are a little too disconnected from each other, and we're kind of working to get them all unified, we have a wonderful man behind the scenes, Maheen the Machine, who is doing the Lord's work, to be honest. Our social medias, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and we're on YouTube. We are on
Twitch,
that's the one I would forget. We do post things there. We're going to try to post something everywhere so that if you see a video, it brings you back to the website. And if you listen to something, and like we want everyone to be in all the places that we are, because oftentimes someone will watch a reel, they'll watch a short, or they'll read something, and those are just different camps, and they'll never interact, or they'll never see the same content. So we're trying to make everything more cohesive. So let your friends know we're cool.
I think to some extent it's like beating the odds in some ways, right? Like, we've lasted a year, lots and lots and lots of places closed down before a year hits. So it feels good. It feels good to have made something that's cool and is resonating with people.
I mean, the cost of running a website is not very high.
Cost of paying people, cost of paying for labor, though, is a separate thing.
No. We do this for the love of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we do this for the love of the game. We're not lining our pockets because
we're not getting rich off of it, but we're doing it because it's something that we're passionate about. We love the industry. We love getting people who are people that we respect and we like, and being able to say, hey, here we're going to pay you a very reasonable amount of money to write a post for us is something that we value.
Yeah, no, I mean, we love getting people who are in the industry who have been laid off, or that they're looking to write, they're looking to do things. We're literally using all the money we make and spending it right back into that. So it's not, I mean, this is a labor of love for us, but we're not profiting because we're just spending it all on making
the business
cool new things.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. And videogame.town. And, it takes... I have a full-time job, and, I come home and I edit or write and podcast and do all that good stuff. And I do it because it's something I like and something I care about.
So if you care, videogame.town/donate. All right. Enough fucking around. Top 5 games of the year. Clickbait. Yeah.
So I did not do hashtag. You have this list. You have put in your information into the doc, into our shared podcast agenda. but you say don't scroll down. So I've not scrolled down.
Yeah.
But I can do some math on some things that we might potentially overlap in our end of year top 10s, at least currently. So I have arranged my numbers so that we have as little overlap as I can think of, just so that we can cover more games.
Listen, what gets clicks, what gets ratings, what gets the views, ranking art against each other. This one's better than that one. Everything is wrestling.
Or it's like, you got to make a list so that people can disagree with the order that your list is in.
Yeah, if I've learned anything from sports and politics and the internet and culture, just make it wrestling. Just one camp versus another camp. You want a winner and a loser. America loves a winner and will not tolerate a loser, as General Patton once famously said in the film Patton. All right, Grant, your top 5 begins with number 5. What game is it?
Tides of Tomorrow, a game that I feel like it benefits from getting better the more you play it, which I think I've talked about, where so many games will have like a really solid opening, and then the more you play it, the less good it is. Like they front loaded all of the good stuff, and you go, okay, well, am I just doing this same fucking bullshit over and over again? Where Tides of Tomorrow, I feel like there's some interesting stuff up front. Like there's enough to get you to play the game. But I feel like a lot of the more simple stuff is up front, and then the like narratively simple, not just like mechanically simple, stuff is up front, and then the back half of the game is, I think, much more interesting, in terms of what the story does. So I think Tides of Tomorrow is like a legitimately cool game that I like that studio. I like Road 96, which is with their previous work. And I would love to see them continue to make games. And Tides of Tomorrow, I think, is a cool, it's like a water world, or you might say even like a Wind Waker. It's a little Mad Maxy on water instead of sand, as all those other things. It's the end of the world, but everybody has like weird little islands that they're little fiefdoms. And I think it's a lovely little game that is a teeny tiny immersive sim like, and it's a hashtag choice matters game. And I think Tides of Tomorrow is pretty cool. And I hope that people, it's only like, I think it's like $30. So yeah, I think it's worth checking out, for anybody who's even mildly interested. Supporting cool, weird art is nice. So
upon looking up images of this game, I think 2026 is the year of a big collection of what are those big freight container, shipping container things?
Yeah, shipping
like they're all
exactly.
Yeah, they're like colorful, like all clumped up on some sort of a port or dock.
Yes, I could definitely think of exactly which game you're referring to as the another one that
Pocopia has some stuff like that in it.
Yeah.
And my number 5 does as well. There's a really cool area in 007 First Light where it's like a cool, like, in the middle of nowhere, kind of like sandy, beachy, oceany, black market where nefarious evildoers go and buy and sell weapons and art and do crimes.
It's a really cool area.
It's very cool.
And I also, not to blow anyone's mind, but like I know that you really, really fucking hated Lenny Kravitz. And
I was just about to say Lenny Kravitz is not good.
But here's the thing. I think that because you said that he was so terrible, I was expecting it to be like a real fucking atrocity, and he's just kind of like not great. Like he's not good, but I wasn't like, what the fuck is happening here? I wasn't like actively angry about it. He's just not a good actor.
No, you have to be. But it reminded me of Ronda Rousey giving like line readings in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it just kind of very flat, very flat. But his character model looks fucking rad.
Oh, 100%.
Obviously, like it looks, somewhat like him as a person, but I just think that they did a great job of his that whole character model, the way that they handled the hair tech, all that stuff is great.
He should have just done the song,
sure,
and thrown him in as like a cameo. But anyways,
he's a musician, right? Like make him do music. Don't have him act.
And his stuff is phenomenal. But
doesn't his daughter acts, right?
His daughter writes, acts, directs. I liked her first movie, Blink Twice.
A triple threat.
She was in the new High Fidelity reboot that got canceled. She's also Catwoman.
Zoe? Is that her name?
Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman. That is correct.
Good on you, Zoe Kravitz. So I think
she's great.
I'm probably about a third of the way through 007, so I didn't feel good enough to put it on here. And the other reason I didn't put it on my list is because I was like, I'm pretty sure that Jared's going to have 007 on the list. So
yeah,
we could talk about 007 through that.
I beat it yesterday. It's a game that might have like a few too many endings, but is ultimately very, very good. It is not the world's best controlling game. It doesn't feel the best. It does not drive the best or shoot the best. But god damn it, did I have a fucking blast going through that whole thing. Just a delight.
The parts that are Hitman are the parts that I really like.
Well, even the parts that aren't Hitman, which are like, you know, the acting and the cutscenes and the plot and like just details to like the environment and the little moments of.
Yeah, I will say the firefight stuff is the weakest part of the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
where, so I try to avoid it. It's just hey, there's dudes here, survive or whatever.
I tried to just stealth my way through every sort of big encounter because ultimately there's like a door that you just like slowly open and it's like the same animation and it's like okay, you're done with that section. Like those guards will never open that door and follow you. It's like you went past them.
Yeah, but that Aleph area has like a big where you have that you're trying to catch a plane. And it's just like, listen, man, you got to do a lot of shooting. You're not going to luck out stealthing your way through this. They're after your ass.
But it's great fun though.
But you know what's
your number 4?
Well, before I want to do one more thing. Hacking a grenade that has been sent at you.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Whips so much ass. Man, more Hitman games. My number 4 is a game that we have talked about significantly, and I've only started to play in the last couple of weeks. Retro Rewind. You know I love a nostalgia, and you know that I love like a management sim type thing, a plate spinner, if you will. I think that this particular one, I think the character art, I think you should just type in like let me see if I can find Retro Rewind character and see if you can see what these fuckers look like, because they look so fucking crazy. Here's one I found.
These look like the same kind of weird, ugly, that High on Life or like Rick and Morty, you know?
But this is so low budge. This is so low budge.
Yeah. But that's what they kind of look like.
For sure. It is a very cool game. I think it's probably something we will want to stream at some point.
Sure.
Or do a video about, because I think it's like a really, really fun indie game. I do wish that it had proper like controller support. Like you can obviously it's a Steam and you can play on a Steam Deck or whatever, and you can hack your way to controller support. But I wish it had like an actual proper controller stuff, like a scheme built in. If they did that, then I think it would probably be even better. But yeah, no, it's a real fun game. I am enjoying myself quite a bit with Retro Rewind. It's a great game to just. It's in the same way that I really really fell in love. Last year, when I was fun employed for a couple of months, I really fell in love with Arcade Paradise. I think it's very much that same thing with Retro Rewind.
Have you purchased any illicit goods from a guy in a back alley with a trench coat and a little table?
I did.
Yeah.
Adult. I have an adult section.
Nice. You always got to go to that guy. You never know what he's going to open his trench coat and show you.
What are you buying?
Speaking of mature and adult-themed games, my number 4 is Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight.
The most mature. You seem real fucking hot on that game.
I beat the story. Unlike 007, there is like 1,000 icons on the map of Riddler trophies and things I have yet to get to. The ultimate reward are just more outfits or like new versions of your Batmobile and some stuff, so I didn't feel compelled to do all of it. Mm-hmm. But I had such a great time reliving the nostalgia of playing those early Arkham games, because that's what this is, and that is... It gave me everything I wanted. It was like a very fun mishmashing of every type of Batman flavor into its own unique kind of thing. Matt Berry plays Bane, and it's fucking hysterical. It just, like, they got the combat right, and they got the collectibles right, and it's like very well paced, and it's gorgeous. Like his cape is like real cloth, and it like attracts water like when it's raining. Just a blast from start to finish.
It's a real bummer that the Switch 2 version is kind of like indefinitely delayed. Like we're working on it. It'll come out.
We got to shove this thing in here.
Yeah, because it's like if it was out on Switch 2, like I'm gonna have a vacation here in a couple weeks. Like that seems like a game that would be a great vacation game where like I'm spending.
Yeah.
Like I'm going back. I was out all day, and I'm gonna spend an hour and a half playing a game in my hotel room. That seems like a really good one for that.
Yep.
But what are you gonna do? If it's not ready, don't ship it.
Like, you can just literally fly around and just find cool stuff and just kind of fill out or check boxes, or you can just strictly do the campaign and get to like the Batman Returns parts or the Batman animated series parts or the Nolan trilogy parts. Those are sort of the major backbones.
As much as I like the Burton movies, and as much as I like the Nolan movies, I think my Batman, the Batman that resonates the most for me, is Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, you're going to get to a certain point in this game and have a huge smile on your face. Trust me.
I mean, as a young person, I really, really fucking love Batman the Animated Series. And I think it's one of those things where like it holds up where people are still like, no. It's like, yes, it's for kids, but if you go back and try to get, like that nostalgic stuff, you're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be as good as you remember it.
Correct. What's your number 3?
My next game is Dos Divas, a very cool game. It is very heavily on cooking. It's a cooking RPG, and a mech game as well. You're walking around in a giant mech. I really enjoy the style of game that this team has done. I don't like it quite as much as Thirsty Suitors. I think Thirsty Suitors is just so. I mean, it's like amazing. I think I just like it's just hitting on all cylinders, and this is just not quite as good, but it's still very good. Like, I love the art style. I think the dialogue's really great, and I think it's fun to play. It is adjacent to a Mario RPG style of you button prompt to go through your turn-based combat. I love exploring, and I think that the story is very, very sweet. So I would say that Dos Divas is worth picking up if you haven't played it yet.
Grant, you didn't say the magic words to hook me. You didn't say Paper Mario.
Yeah, I mean, definitely it is Paper Mario, but like, same thing as Mario Paper, as Mario RPG Paper Mario. There are more bad Paper Marios than there are good Paper Marios now.
No. But I mean, obviously, but no. I'm saying, like, to me, there is a difference, not a huge one, but there is a difference between Super Mario RPG and those first 2 Paper Marios.
Yeah, I would say that it is. I would say it's slightly more Paper Mario, like definitely not in aesthetic, but the way that you play it, yeah, it's Paper Mario adjacent.
Now you're selling me. My number 3 is a game that is in early access, and if it was not in early access, if it was 1.0, it would be my game of the year, but it's not going to get there. It's Slay the Spire 2. Slay the Spire 2 is polished to perfection. It is loaded with things to do. It's got a ton of characters, and it is just better than the first game in every single regard. The only reason it is only number 3 is because they have not finished the game. Like, you can tell that there's so much more coming, and they just haven't gotten there. So I wouldn't say it's half a game. Like, you can play it and beat it and be satisfied and make it your forever game, because there's a ton of shit in here, and it's brilliant. It's one of the most brilliant card games I've ever played, but it is not finished, so I have to put it at 3.
That's fair. I mean, I don't even know, because like a game that's not here, and it's a game that I have not put a significant amount of time into yet, but it's in early access, like Paralives, which is like a different take on a The Sims type game. It's like, well, that's probably not going to be in 1.0, but I'm going to spend a bunch of time in it this year. So I don't know. I don't even know where I'm at with early access games being on top 10 lists. We're in such a weird position with all that.
I mean, I would say that, like, this is the most feature complete and, like, out of the box, ready to go I've ever seen an early access game be.
Even more than Hades? Because the people seem to really think that those Hades games are, like, really, really good, like, in the early access period.
They are, but they didn't have an ending, and you could see, like, work in progress art, or it was just, like, a blank silhouette.
Sure.
Like, and then they were definitely, like, tweaking and adding. Like, I remember, like, Hades 1, like, early access, it was, like, there just, like, wasn't enough weapons in the game. Like, there wasn't enough, like, polish, like... And they definitely improved with Hades 2, but, like, Slay the Spire 2, if they just, like, came out and said, like, yeah, this is the game and we'll just add DLC, it would have been, like, fucking great. This is a great foundation.
That's cool.
I played it in co-op with all my buds. I would love to, for someday, you and I to do co-op, and I can sort of walk you through why it's so smart in the way that, like, you pick your path and everything is like a D&D sort of like choose like your consequence, like make a decision and like live with it.
Choose wisely.
No, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, like it's like Hand of Fate. Do you remember that game Hand of Fate?
I don't.
No? Okay. Like, that's another game where it's like, you do the choose, like the pick your own whatever, and the guy's telling you a story, and you stumble upon this. Do you run? Do you attack? But then, like, the meat and potatoes of that game were, like, not great, where it's like Slay the Spire, it's like it's a deck builder. It's a roguelike deck builder.
Yeah, people really love that. I mean, like, obviously those are words that are extremely off-putting to me, but people have spoken so highly about, in the same way that, like, Hades is cool enough to penetrate to me, even though I don't really love the genre that it's in or the framework that it's in. It was still enough to push through to me. That's how I feel it is for many people, where it's like, the people will be like, I'm not even a roguelike deck builder person, but this is so good that I think it's like an insult to injury in that it's not a thing that I'm typically into. And every time I have ever looked at the art, I go, that's extremely off-putting.
Yeah, the first game had very, very bad art, and this game has not as bad art.
Like App Store trash.
Yeah. And there is no story. There are no characters. It's not Hades in that way. So to me, it'll be
the anti-Grant game. It's everything that Grant doesn't want in a video game.
Like, to me, it'll be like when you played Into the Breach and you're like, oh, I understand why people would love this, but it is just raw gameplay. Like that is just straight gameplay.
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Life is Strange Reunion. I think it might be I think it's better than the other two in kind of like in this. So Life is Strange 1, I'm notoriously replaying it and posting my thoughts episode by episode on videogame.town. And I have a lot of problems with that first one. I think Before the Storm, which is a prequel, is really great. And then Life is Strange Double Exposure is kind of like the direct lead up into Reunion, and I think that this is better than Double Exposure. So I think this is a strong Life is Strange, even if it's probably not my favorite Life is Strange. I do think it is good, and I think it's a good way to leave Max and Chloe. I hope that this is we've left Max and Chloe, our sapphic duo, in a good spot. They can go off and do their thing. We don't have to like focus on them anymore. We can do other things with Life is Strange. That's my hope. So far, I think it's held up. It's kind of it hasn't dropped spots in my list so far. So I think it's a good one. I think this is a good Life is Strange to play.
At what point during this year will you stop writing about Life is Strange?
When I'll probably write about it at the end of the year because it'll be in my top 10. But when I finish I'm in episode 2 of, as of recording, I'm in episode 2 of 5. So 3 more Life is Strange.
I'm going to be real with you. Every time you submit a draft and I click open and it says like Life is Strange, I immediately go, again? Like there's more?
Jared?
I know.
This is my experience with literally anything sports.
I know. No, but I'm like, I just forget that they're episodic, so that's why.
There's 5 episodes, and I'm going.
I'm not saying that's the lingering thought. That's like the initial impression. I was just like, huh? And then I go, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Life is Strange, buddy.
I know, Life is Strange. My number 2 of the year is Resident Evil Requiem or 9.
Requiem 9 Neo.
I don't think it is as good as 7 or 8, but I think
really
it's
good.
But I think it might be better than some of the remakes they've been doing. Mm-hmm. Like it is like the perfect balance between like more of the 7 and 8 and more of like 4 remake.
Yeah.
It's like it's really, really, really good. It scratches the itch. I had a blast. Looking back, I can see problems with the first 4 games that I mentioned, and this is not going to be a thing that I still have like hashtag thoughts on Resident Evil 9, but the pros outweigh the negatives, and it is still just a kick-ass roller coaster of nostalgia bait and really cool level design and great pacing and fun little moments and the sort of like structure that those games are like you play the first time and it's like anywhere between 10 to 15 hours and then you play it a second and third time much quicker with new outfits and a new camera angle and like new weapons and it's just like that's such a great way to play games. Is replaying them with all sorts of like fun goodies sort of opened up.
It's the classic Resident Evil. You're playing through the game again, but this time you have a rocket launcher with infinite ammo.
Yeah, like we all used to play games multiple times even when there wasn't shit like that. Like I remember like having a 360 and literally the only game I had was Gears of War and I would just play Gears of War over and over. Like, you
Gears of War 1 have multiplayer or was that something that like they added?
No, it did. It did. I didn't play it online all that often, but like I would play PS1 games over and over. And like that's the kind of like what these new Resident Evils do where you're like, remember you used to just play shit because like that's what you had? But like now it's like better.
Are you gonna play it again once DLSS 5 comes out?
No,
everybody looks like it's a TikTok beauty filter.
No, fuck that shit forever. Fuck everyone who made it. Fucking traitors to the human race. AI garbage. I will be interested to see what they do with the DLC because the DLC for 8 was not good, and the DLC for 7 was like pretty interesting and weird. But
I'm not a diehard Resident Evil person. I'm somebody who dabbles in Resident Evil, and I think generally has more positive thoughts than negative thoughts about Resident Evil. But I'm not a diehard like you are. My overall sense of the DLCs is substantially more misses than hits when they make DLCs for Resident Evil games.
That is correct. And I will tell you that there was no DLC for 2 or 3. The DLC for 4 was the Ada expansion that was essentially copying what they did in 2005 when people actually made like legitimately great, expansions. Like I feel like the art of the expansion has been lost.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that later.
Later in the podcast. But no, I don't know if I'm going to play it, but
yes,
7, man. Resident Evil 7. Jesus Christ. What a cool game.
I think I might like 8 more.
I mean, because mommy has the big steppy.
Hey, don't talk to Lady Dimitrescu like that.
My number 1, I think so far, Pragmata. It's so fucking good. Capcom, they're on a tear, Jared. They're just putting out banger after banger, selling really well. It is a lovely sci-fi story that has, I think, very classic gameplay. I mean, we've talked about it. Where it feels like a game from a different era, but in terms of like its design choices and the fact that it is a new game, it's not a sequel to anything. But I think it feels fresh too. Like it isn't just playing into like, oh, here's nostalgia or whatever. I think that there's new cool stuff happening. I think it feels really good to play. And I think that for many games, even games that I like, sometimes I will like put an hour in and I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to do something else. This was one of those games where when I would boot it up, I couldn't stop playing. I really, really wanted to continue playing like for as long as I could until I had to put it down and do something else. It really kept me engaged. I think Pragmata is just a really fucking beautiful game that they made, and they're madmen. The Capcom, they're just out there doing it like nobody else is right now.
Yeah. I have a few honorable mentions. Mugenics, Pragmata, and Scritchy Scratchy are definitely games that like if I had to do a top 10, they'd make it. But if I have to pick one Capcom game, where I'm picking Leon Scott Kennedy.
Sure,
I have to.
Sure.
But Pragmata was great. Pragmata is an extremely fun, breezy game. Kind of a weird ending though. I don't know why they would do such a thing.
I don't know. Seems pretty straightforward.
Well, like, what if they got to make more?
Yeah, not to blow anyone's mind, but there seems to be, if you continue playing, there's some, let's say, a little backtracking on the intensity of the ending.
Okay, all right, fair enough. My number 1's Mixtape, and I definitely thought there would be more games like Gone Home after 2013, and we really didn't get a ton of them. And the ones that came out were not as good as Gone Home, and it took until this year for something to come out where I go, oh, that's like Gone Home. Like, I'll come back to that like a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, and go through it and be like, fuck, man, this is what video games are all about. This shit slaps. What a banger Mixtape is. An amazingly creative game that sort of just stretches in fun ways all the different permutations of like what you can do with a controller and how to break the fourth wall, and it's just like a perfect like little summer vibe kind of a thing. Doesn't overstay its welcome. Just filled with heart and character and clearly a reverence for very particular memories from a very particular time that, as specific and niche as it is, can speak to a more universal truth, which is something that I find quite beautiful.
I do want to give a shout out to some other walking sim type games, like Life is Strange, for example. But what Remains of Edith Finch? Did you ever play?
That's a good one.
Incredible. Yep. And Firewalk. Like, Firewalk is like a straight up just great game. Good job.
Yeah. Those are A tier. Gone Home is an S tier.
I like all three of them a lot. I don't know if I have a ranking inside of me, but I love all three of them. They're all very, very good.
I also very much enjoy Virginia and fucking Stanley Parable and Beginner's Guide. I like Tacoma. That one's good.
And like, listen, obviously, I do really like Tacoma. I think Tacoma is very good. But Dear Esther is obviously like the walking sim, which has my heart totally.
I don't remember The Vanishing of Ethan Carter that much
because it's barely a walking sim. It's much more of like a murder mystery type dealy, or like a ghost story. Mixtape's good. So Mixtape is one of those things where it's like it would probably have been on my list, but I knew that you were going to have it, so I didn't put it on the list. It's not like a pointed like snubbing. It's more like Jared's going to have that, so we'll talk about it. So no need for it to be on my list.
That's how I felt about Pragmata, where I was like, I don't need to shove this into the top 5. But I know that you hadn't finished 007 and I had.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like I'm liking it, but I don't feel good enough. I don't feel good enough at this point to put it on a list.
There's some cool stuff coming your way though.
I'm sure. I have nothing but faith in IO Interactive.
Let's just say if you're a thirsty suitor, there's some things for you.
Jared, you know I'm a thirsty suitor. Fuck. But we're not done with lists.
No. In fact, we are going to transition to a second top 5 list. We are going to be picking the most anticipated games coming up for the rest of the year. And as we are recording this, we are right before non-E3 Summer Game Mess blast off. Team Keighley's blasting off again!
I'm sure it'll be good and totally not a nightmare.
I mean, like, Sony's doing their own thing, Microsoft's doing their own thing, sure. Nintendo's going to do their own thing.
Will do its thing. And then there's also
an indie collection.
800 smaller shows.
Yeah.
It's like, if you go and you find, like, whatever, you track down some outlet that has collected all of the ones that they'll be pressing play on a YouTube video in the month of June. It is wild how many people are doing that instead of trying to fit it all into one thing. It's just everybody's doing their own thing.
PC Game Show, Devolver Digital, a Cozy Game, different indie showcases. IGN has their own. It is bananas. Now, when we get to these top 5s, Grant, you can't just put Kingdom Hearts 4 at every single spot. So I'm going to need you to pick other games.
This is similar. I think this is similar where I made some guesses about what you would put on it. And so there are some heavy hitters that I was pretty sure that you would include that I steered away from so that we would have more variety.
But you can't keep picking Kingdom Hearts 4. You have to pick other games.
Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm going to pick Sora from Kingdom Hearts 4. Donald Duck from Kingdom Hearts 4. Goofy.
You know the internet's going to rip itself a new asshole if they just start showing off fucking Star Wars and Marvel shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a layup, right? Like, of course, but who knows?
The Keyblade is a lightsaber.
But here's what I'm saying.
Explode.
Here's the reason why I said last time we did one of these. The reason why I said that I would be surprised if it was there is because it's all hands on deck finishing Final Fantasy VII. That's what's keeping Kingdom Hearts 4 from being ready to show.
You're going to have to pick pieces of your skull off the ceiling when your mind gets blown when they merge Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. Oh no, wait, they already did that.
But also, it's kind of like what if Final Fantasy VII Part 3 is Kingdom Hearts 4? Like it's like Super Mario Land 2 :
Yoshi's Island.
Wario. It's like Wario Land, and then like Wario Land 2, it removes the subtitle. And I think that would be. I mean, I would put it this way: it's not like it's impossible for Kingdom Hearts 4, but I don't think that it's coming out this year, Jared.
All right, Grant, what's your 5th most anticipated or hyped game for the rest of the year?
Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. So,
Nerd!
Was a huge fan of Three Houses.
Nerd.
And then, I can't even remember what the next game was. Played it, and I was just like, I don't give a shit. This is the most generic fantasy RPG, JRPG bullshit that I've ever seen in my life. I am so completely uninvested in this. And what we have seen so far seems to be a direct follow-up to Three Houses. So this is a return to form. I'm extremely excited about the potential of a Three Houses. I'm not saying that it's going to be like Three Houses 2, but that it will be in the style of Three Houses. And definitely will have like at least one overlapping character.
Wake me when it's in Advance Wars.
I thought you got Fire Emblem pilled, Jared.
I did. I played the first 2. The first 3. And then I couldn't play the Wii one, which is more of the GameCube one. Listen, I like those games, but sometimes you just need to shut up and let me play.
Engage, Fire Emblem Engage. I feel like you would just pop up a huge boner for it because it's like they got rid of all of the stuff where it's like you're interacting with each other, you're doing like the fun like storytelling of like you're at a magic school or whatever. They get rid of all that shit and it's just regular Fire Emblem. So I feel like
I played it and I bounced off of it and I don't even remember why.
It just seems like that would be up your because I reject it so hard. It just feels like that would be the Fire Emblem that you love.
I remember I bought that with Bayonetta 3 and I had much better time with Bayonetta 3.
I still have not played Bayonetta 3.
I'm sorry. You're the biggest fan of the first 2 and you haven't played the third game? Get the fuck out of here.
It was such a fucking cluster. It was such a clusterfuck when they released it. And then also like it ran like shit on the original Switch.
Now you have a Switch too. Go play the third game. All right. My number 5 is Gears of War E-Day. I'm a lifelong Gears fan. I have every single one in my collection. I even have a hat, a Gears of War hat. Someone gave it to me. Don't ask. I don't know why they don't finish the story because they had a massive cliffhanger with 5. But 5 had these like really cool big open area environments like Uncharted Lost Legacy or Last of Us 2, where it's like here's like a little mini map and there's like a big little open area. Like that was cool. They should do more of that shit.
Did you say they need to finish the fight?
No, they need to finish the fucking cliffhanger where you get to pick which person dies. And then, like, you literally have to choose. It's like, which one of these 2 main characters is going to die?
Oh, it's like a Kate and Ashley type situation.
And then, at no point, like, did they ever feel like getting around to, telling the audience which one is canon, or B, having to confront Marcus Phoenix about his dead son or his dead friend. Or
but it just seems like the post 360 Gears games, society has largely said no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. I mean, it's not like the decline of Halo where they just started to suck. Like, Gears 4 and 5 are still really good, but you could clearly tell that it's like society moved on, even though the quality didn't dip. But hey, man, it's a prequel.
E-Day is like another remake of 1?
No. So in the lore, in the canon, there was an emergence day, E-Day, where the fucking aliens or whatever, the ground people came out of the ground for the very first time.
Okay.
That's this game. It is like
so it's a prequel.
It is the start. It is the prequel. It's like how Marcus and Dom got into fighting because all of humanity had to start fighting because it's like, oh my god, there are these earthquakes and fucking monsters are coming out of the ground. Like, let's shoot them. That's what this game is. It's a complete prequel. Let's strap the chainsaws to... Maybe, but let's strap the chainsaws to the guns. That's probably what's going to be in this game.
Yeah, that's like the end of the dark second chapter, like the second act. It's like at the end of it, it's like, how are we going to push back these fucking aliens? And then somebody duct tapes a chainsaw to a shotgun, and they're like,
Yep.
guys, I think I figured it out.
That's right. Yeah. So, what's your number 4?
Sorry, I was on the Wikipedia trying to figure out Ultimate Edition and then Reloaded are the weird double remakes.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure that out. Ontos or Ontos, my guess is Ontos is the next game from the people who made Soma, a noted sad robot game that I love.
Typical.
Huge sad robot fan. This is from Frictional Games. They are, it is another spoopy sci-fi story. And it's coming out this year, or at least theoretically. And I'm pretty excited. Did you play Soma?
No, but I watched someone play it.
I mean, you're getting a lot of it, and you don't have to do that. They thankfully they made the stealth sections optional. Eventually, they patched that in, but at launch, the stealth stuff in Soma sucked shit.
Did I watch Markiplier play it? I watched someone on YouTube play through the whole.
But they did like 3 Penumbra games, and then they made a fuckload of Amnesia games. They made like 4 Amnesia games.
Yeah.
Which the Machine for Pigs was primarily developed by the Chinese Room, who I love, of Dear Esther fame. So Machine for Pigs is like kind of a walking sim-y, obviously mixed with Amnesia. But Soma, and they made Soma over a decade ago at this point, which is wild that it's been so long. But this is kind of them going back to the Soma style of game now that they have done so many fucking Amnesia games. Like I played some Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I played a Machine for Pigs because I love the Chinese Room, and then they just kept making fucking Amnesia games. And I'm like, who is this for? Is this just YouTubers?
The sickos.
I assume it's just for YouTubers.
Yeah. What was that game with Rutger Hauer? Oh, Observer? Did you ever play that?
Not a fan.
Okay.
Because it's Let's Bloober Team.
Oh, Bloober. Okay, yeah, I play Bloober Team games. So I think for people who don't know us, who are listening for the first time, we just need 2 shirts. Yours says Sad Robots, and mine just says Cards. And that'll basically tell you everything you need to know.
Cards and left trigger, right trigger.
My number 4, I suspect might be on your list, is Control Resonant.
I avoided it. That, and there's one other big game that I avoided putting on because I knew that you would have it. But I am obviously extremely excited about Control Resonant.
Maybe our shirt should be updated. And one says AAA Cards, and yours says Indies Sad Robots.
Yeah, that's fair.
Control Resonant is a complete departure from what Control was, which was shooty, bang, bang. Mm-hmm. And then Alan Wake 2 is the best thing Remedy has ever made, and was
really
my game of the year.
Good.
It's
so
incredible. Good. And this is like, what if we did Devil May Cry in Inception Land? And it's like, well, that's not what Control 1 was. So I would like to learn more about this game.
It also seems like maybe it's a little prototypey.
Listen, Remedy games are incredible works of art, and they never sell. Like, they just don't sell. People don't buy them. People don't give a fuck. It could win every Game of the Year award, that and Deathloop, and certain games will not sell. So this might be the game that just puts them under.
Maybe. I don't know. But I mean, I think that they do fine. They're just not doing. They're not doing like enormous numbers. It's not like people don't play them. It's that they're not. They want to, to spread out and have a much larger audience, and they just have a very dedicated core audience.
When they remake Max Payne, that's what's going to bring in the big bucks.
Sure. I mean, I don't even know why I understand why they're doing it. It's for money, but like, who gives a shit about Max Payne in 2026?
I like Max Payne.
He's fine.
I like Max Payne.
Bullet time in the year of our Lord 2026.
Dude, I mean, it was cool 20 years ago.
My next game is an RPG, a dialogue heavy RPG. It's being published by Wadjet Games, but it's being developed by the Curiosity Engine. It's a vampire RPG. My vampire RPG needs were not met with Bloodlines 2. So the pitch of this one, of Nighthawks, is that the kind of like the masquerade is gone, right? So like in those games, it's like, well, we have to make sure that humans don't know that we're fucking vampires because it will be chaos. In Nighthawks, it's just people know now. People are aware that there are fucking vampires, and now how do you have a society in which there's just fucking vampires going around doing stuff, and everybody knows it?
Is this named after the famous Hopper painting?
I don't know.
But
I love vampires, and we've had...
Does the art style look like a Hopper painting?
Not really. Like,
right.
No, like, here, just share, here's what you can look at not really.
Okay. Well, that's like my favorite painting ever. I love that painting. So like, you say Nighthawks and I go, huh?
Painting.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. It's one of those games that has been on my Steam wish list for years at this point. And it's finally coming out. Like, they have made kind of like initiated like, okay, no, for serious, it's real now. It's not like that painting, but I wouldn't say that it is deeply like in that style.
Gotcha. My number 3 is Grand Theft Auto 6. I've played every Grand Theft Auto. I'm a lifelong fan. I think they peaked with San Andreas, and I don't think they have really made a game as good as Red Dead 1 since. So I am fascinated to know what the hell they're doing with this thing. No. And GTA 6 is not my preferred location of Vice City, and I'm not sure what the radio stations are going to be like, but if they can improve the mission design, if they can give us something that isn't cringeworthy in terms of like a story, if they could come out with an online mode that isn't busted from the start, that would be great, because you've spent more money than God on this. You've spent way too long making this thing. I can't fathom why it isn't coming out on PC. Like, they've literally delayed this nonstop. Like, just stop making the game, put it out, and then you can keep working on it. Because, like, it's got to be ready. Like,
or what
are we doing?
They're just going to keep making money, so who gives a shit?
Unbelievable.
I am a big GTA 4 defender.
Yeah, I like GTA 4.
I think that's probably, to me, the most interesting of the GTAs that they've ever made.
Sure. I mean, San Andreas had 3 cities and a jetpack, but I mean,
sure.
Sure.
But like that, it's like, I feel like it was so much more experimental with like, it got it's way more life simmy than the other ones, than the rest, kind of like the rest of the games, where like, yes, of course, like,
yeah.
you lift weights and that makes you stronger in San Andreas for sure. But I just feel like the GTA 4 was such an interesting attempt of them being like, what if it was like you were living like the day-to-day life of this character and not just a big bombastic gangster movie.
There was a lot of like stuff with like your cell phone ringing and like people like trying to get you to go to like places or go on dates and stuff, and it was like, shut up, I'm just trying to blow up pigeons. But Rockstar went way too far in the other direction, where they made Red Dead 2 a literal life simulator, and that it was really, really boring because you had to like articulate every joint in your body, and you just walked around for 8 hours, and it was fucking painfully, dreadfully dull.
It might be saying something that my favorite Rockstar games are Red Dead 2 and then GTA 4.
Nah, dude, the 1-2 punch of San Andreas, Red Dead 1. Oh, unbelievable. All right, what's your next game?
I like, but I don't love Red Dead 1.
We don't have time for this. What's the next game?
Witchbrook. It's a little it looks like a fun little pixelated life sim game. You can walk around, you're probably smooching, you're probably cooking up spells in a very like a pixel art world, and like a witch town, bustling seaside city of Mossport. Looks like it is developed both by Chucklefish and Robotality, and then published by Chucklefish. It looks great. I think every time that they've shown it, I have been like, yeah, that looks good as hell.
Yep.
I look forward to Witchbrook. I hope that it's as good as it seems.
That's a game that's going to be on a lot of people's Steam wish lists, like, right now.
For sure, it's on mine.
Yeah. A game that's on everyone's PlayStation wish list is the only game coming out for the PS5, because we only get 2 of those a year now. It's Insomniac's Wolverine.
This is
or as some people say,
like Wolverine.
Wolverines.
Yeah, no. Listen, I love Insomniac. They have made.
I love Insomniac to death.
And I have a lot of affection for the X-Men, so I'm sure that it will be a game that I enjoy.
Will this get you to watch any X-Men movies that you haven't seen?
Maybe, but I think convincing my wife to watch them, I think, is the real problem.
Can't you watch a movie on a screen, and then she can watch a different movie on a different screen?
I get,
and you watch them separately?
Yes, I could go lay in bed and watch it on my phone for sure. I could do that.
Wait, watch it on your phone?
Well, what else am I going to watch it on?
A tablet? I don't know.
I guess I can watch it on the Steam Deck, but it's a shittier screen than my phone is.
Who watches movies on phones? That's insane. Anyways, Insomniac, they don't miss. They always hit, like, their on-base percentage is a billion. They make great games. They don't crunch. They used to just crank them out all the time. It's been a while since they've had a flop, which I think might have been Fuse or Overstrike. I love Sunset Overdrive. I love the Ratchet and Clanks.
Is probably a flop, right? Not a critical flop.
Not critically.
A sales flop is what I mean.
Oh yeah, because it was Xbox One. But yeah, no, they're if there was any studio in the world I would want to work for, it would be them. And Wolverine looks incredible.
I mean, they seem
very
like they have a great track record. I think the Spider-Man game. I'm glad that they're not just cranking out more Spider-Man. I think that they did a really good job on those Spider-Man games. I think if they just said it's the next Spider-Man, I would be like, okay, I'm starting to burn out now.
I felt that with 2.
Yeah, for sure. Like 100%. I for me, the peak was Miles Morales. I really loved that game. I loved that it was the tighter storytelling, which is kind of like why when they were like a Venom game, like a Miles Morales sized Venom game, I'm like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, but wah.
Yep.
All right, what's your most anticipated hype game of the year?
I don't know. I don't know if it is as legitimately my favorite, but it has been on my list for the longest, I think, and that is Nivalis. And so I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this, but however, we ever talked about Cloudpunk.
No.
Cloudpunk is a very cool indie game by Ion Lands, which I believe is a very small German developer. And it's a game in which you do a lot of you're basically like it's a cyberpunk city. It was initially in Cloudpunk, it's like very much like a more blocky character design. So this has more realistic proportions. So this is like an evolution of character designs, but it was a more blocky, like voxel design with Cloudpunk. But you were somebody who basically had just moved to this city, this cyberpunk city, and you were taking people around. You were like driving your cloud car around the cyberpunk city, delivering people, and then like over time you're getting like story is kind of like being fed to you over time. And it was a really delightful small game. It was one of my favorite games the year it came out. And Nivalis has been in development since then. And it is that basically that setting of Cloudpunk in this like big city in the sky type cyberpunk environment. And it is like a life sim where it's like, hey man, manage restaurants, go on dates, that kind of stuff. Like, go live a life in this weird cyberpunk world. And I am very interested in seeing how it turns out. Like, I don't know if it'll be good, but I'm excited to see what happens.
Do you remember the original pitch for the Prey remake where you were like in a big open sci-fi city doing bounty hunter stuff?
Sure. That's
like kind of what you were describing, but like minus the bounty.
Yeah, not all of bounty hunting, but no, like you can go and it's been on my Steam wish list for literally years now. And I'm excited. If for a long time it was like a TBA, it come out when it's out, and it finally has like a date. It has like 2026 as the date. So it seems like it is more likely than not to come out.
I think the Nextlander guys were talking about this a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised. This very much sounds like a Vinny game.
Yeah, Brad and Vinny were talking about this. All right, my number one. Let's all say it together, Grant. The Duskbloods.
I don't know, man. It feels like I understand that it is Bloodborne-esque and that it is a From game. Isn't the fact that it's like a weird, fucked up multiplayer thing, does that not put like a little bit of a damper on it?
Okay. So, for those of you who do not know who I am Miyazaki's biggest simp. Mm-hmm. I will play everything he touches. He is God. As for what this game is, it's running on a Switch 2, which it baffles me. But maybe Nintendo really ponied up the money for this weird passion project. They are describing it as a PvE game, which, I'm not going to lie, literally sounds like Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring, where it's like you can play it single player, you can play it co-op, you can do multiplayer stuff in it. I think people are thinking this is more Night Rain.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any evidence of what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
I think they're being vague and coy.
But here's the question. Do you think that the existence of this game and how much it is evoking Bloodborne, where the fact that when they were showing the footage in the trailer before
everyone's screaming Bloodborne,
everyone was like, Bloodborne, this is a Bloodborne game.
Yeah.
Do you think that this pushes the hand of Sony to be like, come on?
No. What pushes the hand of Sony, other than line go up capitalism, is that they're working on an animated movie. They would not do that if they did not already anticipate people asking them at every fucking press junket about like a patch or a remake or a sequel. There have been so many conflicting reports about whose fault it is, whether it's Miyazaki's and From's fault or Sony's fault. All I know is that this is a weird mixture of East Asian, like Sekiro influences, steampunk robots, fucking turning into dinosaurs, like a werewolf, vampire, Bloodborne, Castlevania shit. Like, it's just like a whole bunch of stuff that they've done over the last, like, 15 years,
it
all
has,
in one
like,
game.
The weird grody-ness of, like, a Resident Evil 7. Like, you look at it and you go, like, gross.
Oh,
Yuck.
dude, no, that stuff's in all of their games to a certain extent.
What? This looks like if I touched it, I would really have to go scrub to get this off my hand.
That is literally everything they've ever made. There's always a swamp level. There's always like a fucking evil monster that'll like corrupt you or curse you or, God damn it. Like their stuff is just the best in the biz. So whatever this is, I'm looking forward to it. That's my number one with a bullet. I just hope that it runs well and that it is not strictly a Night Rain. Although I liked Night Rain. I thought that game was very good. So, shoot me.
You have two friends that want to play with you.
Dude, the industry's obsession ever since Destiny came out about only 3 in a party is so fucking stupid. I hate
weird. It's really weird.
Dumb. The N64 didn't have 3 controller ports. It had 4. Count the 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, Grant. We're running low on time. I wanted to do a segment in which we try to predict what old game that sells a lot is going to get DLC next. And the examples are Mario Kart 8 eventually got more tracks, and Witcher 3 is getting a new expansion. There's got to be another old game that has sold really well that could get DLC still, right?
Here's my argument.
Skyrim. The answer is Skyrim.
No. I mean, maybe.
Yep.
But here's what I think. So Baldur's Gate 3 is in a really weird situation where because like Hasbro owns Wizard of the Coast. I think that's right.
Yep.
Owns Wizard of the Coast, and that like initially, like when they first signed the deal, things were really good, and then like by the time the game comes out, because games take 1,000,000 years to come out, like people had changed, like the positions have switched. People that were less, the people who ran Hasbro were less amicable, let's say, and so Larian was like, okay, cool, we shipped Baldur's Gate 3, we did a bunch of patches, we're out, we're no more, we're done. Would you be totally shocked if some long time down the road, after like 3 or 4 CEO changes at Hasbro or whatever megacorp absorbs Wizards of the Coast, that they're like, I don't know, people really like Baldur's Gate 3. What if we did like an expansion? Because here's the thing, there is weird precedent for this, which is Baldur's Gate, the old CRPGs got an expansion from a different studio long after it came out. Like it was like a Shadowspear. What the fuck is it called? Baldur's Gate.
I don't know, but you know that they're remaking 2, right? Like, that got announced.
Well, I think that the thing is, like, it's 1 and then, like, maybe 2 at the same time. It seems to be like it's not entirely sure what's happening.
Diablo 2 got a new class, like, 20 years after it came out. You know, like, for some reason, like, people who looked around at how many copies a game sold and went, what if we kept making things for this instead of making a whole new thing? Like, we should have been doing this for a while, guys. Like, give me more Fallout 3 or New Vegas expansions.
I don't know, man.
Yes.
Do you want that?
Yes. Yes! Give it to me.
Those games barely work and require a lot of extra shit on them for them not to be busted.
Listen, we're getting a new Witcher 3 expansion, but for some reason it's not coming out this year. I don't know why they would announce it this year if it's coming out next year. That's
I think it's one of those things where, like, there was so much noise that you kind of have to, like... And the other thing is you want to, like, give people some breadcrumb stuff because they're also working on Witcher 4, and they have another company that's working on the Witcher 1 remake, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That just tells me that stuff's not coming out for another 5 years minimum.
Yeah, I mean, I think Witcher 4 is probably a 2028
next gen game,
a 2028 game. Probably. I think that's most likely. I will say it got me to reinstall Witcher 3 on my PS5.
I wasn't going to do it until they announced it was coming this year, but then they were like, no, it's next year. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to fucking pre-download anything. I'm not installing anything.
It's, Witcher 3 is really good.
No, hey, if you want to sell me that Witcher 3 was the best game of that generation, I would just agree with you. Like, I would stop and think about it, but I wouldn't come to a different conclusion.
I don't think it's my number 1, but it's definitely in my top 5. It's really, really, really fucking good.
I think it might be my number 1 of the generation.
Nier Automata came out.
Yeah, Witcher 3 for sure. All right. Well, that's our show, everyone. Thank you for listening. And if you are a first-time listener, because we might get a lot of new people coming to this feed, subscribe, like, tell your friends, rate, go to the website, videogame.town, our Patreon, our YouTube, your sister's ass, the Pony Express, your father's nuts.
Videogame.town.
I think the only thing left to do is say goodbye to the good people, Grant.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.